Soon they were all awake again. After praying and eating, Bime drove further into the forest. Ella watched as many trees passed by the window again. The three younger girls in the back of the car said, "Are we there yet?" Bime said, "We don't know where we are going. We will be there when we get there." Ella said, "Girls, just talk to each other or play together. Time will fly." "Okay, kids." They said, "Okay, Ella," out of sync. The girls were less restless after Rebecca got some toys out for them to play with. Soon they were all awake again. After praying and eating, Bime drove further into the forest. Ella looked out the window at more trees. Then instantly she had a memory of her dad asking Daisy if she wanted another sibling. Ella thought, it all makes sense now. They want more money. How did I not see this coming earlier? Why do I have to be such an idiot? Now Mum is going to have a hard time fighting Dad off. They need a new moneymaker. That poor kid, maybe we can go back and save her or him later. I wish we did not have to leave, but we cannot let them get rid of Daisy. Hopefully Daisy will forget that Dad considered getting rid of her. Soon they spotted a house. All the kids marvelled at the house. Ella said, "Maybe it is abandoned and we can live there." Ella said, "Bime and I will go and knock on the door to see if anyone lives there." Rebecca, Lilith and Daisy said, "We want to go in too," out of sync. Ella said, "This person may not appreciate someone knocking on the door and bothering them. You girls should stay here." After all, it is hard to get all of us in and out of the car because of all the luggage. Daisy said, "Please can I knock on the door?" Ella said, "We made our decision." Rebecca said, "Who's we?" Ella said, "Bime and I. Now please do all of us favour and stay here." The younger girls were unhappy with their two older siblings' decision. However, they did what they were told. Before Bime and Ella got out of the car, they gave Rebecca the keys. Bime said, "If anyone but us comes up here, lock the doors, understand?" Rebecca said, "Okay." Soon they were all awake again. After praying and eating, Bime drove further into the forest. Ella tried not to picture who was going to be behind the door. She looked at Bime. Then she returned to looking at the door. Ella said a quick prayer for her and Bime's safety. Once her prayer was done, she tried to muster up the courage to knock. She walked up to the doors. Then she stopped. Bime stood to the side of her. When she knocked on the door, it came open. It was not locked, so Ella freaked out when the door instantly came open. She looked at Bime to see what he thought of the situation. He looked a little freaked out by the door coming open. However, he did not scream or jump back from it. Ella looked into the empty house. She thought, maybe it has been abandoned. This thought caused her to say, maybe it has been abandoned. He said, do you want to go in? Ella almost went in, then an idea popped into her head. She lightly shouted, is anyone in here? No one answered. Therefore she shouted a little louder, is someone in here? Still no one answered. She looked at Byam again. He was standing there waiting for his sister to decide what to do. She said to him, I guess we should go in. She turned on the light. He followed her into the house. She walked very slowly. She was little scared she may get into trouble for trespassing. However, the farther they walked in, the more relaxed they got. They walked through the mudroom and no one was there. And then they walked into the kitchen. No one was there. They looked at the table and there were 3 bowls of porridge sitting on the table. Ella walked over to the bowls. She thought, someone must live here. If they had been sitting on the table for years, they would have moulded by now. Ella looked at Byam to see if he had noticed the bowls of porridge too. It appeared to her that he noticed them. Before she could comment on the porridge-filled bowls, he said, I wonder how long these have been sitting here. Ella said if they have been sitting here for years, they would have moulded by now. Someone has been here pretty recently. She thought, I wonder if the porridge is still warm. She barely touched the lower part of one bowl, and it was not warm at all. Before Byam and Ella could exit the house, they heard footsteps coming in. They freaked out. They wanted to run out of the house, but they could not. Ella and Byam froze in their tracks. They felt that they were going to get into trouble. They were prepared to say sorry. However, they saw something very unusual. 3 bears came into the house. Ella and Byam immediately blurted out, out of sync. I moved towards Ella as the bears came closer. The bears did not seem that mad. The mama bear said, look, honey, human children. Ella and Byam were surprised that the bears could talk like humans. Ella and Byam struggled to come up with anything else to say. The papa bear said, "Are you kids lost? We can help you guys. Don't be afraid." Ella and Byam explained why they were there. They cut some stuff out of the story. The mama bear said, "Lo my, that is horrible. We will adopt all of you. Go get the rest." Byam and Ella were thrilled. They found a new home. They happily left to go get the girls. Byam and Ella told the girls what happened while they were in the car. Then they grabbed the girls and brought them in. The Papa Bear got more bowls of porridge for the humans. They all prayed and then ate as a new family. Soon the kids moved into the bear's house. The baby bear was happy to see children move into the house because he always wanted someone to play with. The girls shared the guest bedroom while Bime moved into Baby Bear's room. Soon the night came and everyone went to bed. That night they said their prayers, then they went to sleep. The next day, the homeschoolers learned about the lives of the bears a little bit. The bears showed them around the house and around the woods. After showing them around, the mama bear made breakfast for the family. After the food was made, the bears got ready to go outside. Mama bear said, "Come on, kids." The humans were confused. Bime said, "Why are we going outside?" Papa Bear knew they did not understand what was going on, so he kindly explained the miracle talking bear species have to go and walk before they eat, or we will turn to stone. The humans had never heard of this before. However, they did not argue. They got ready to go and walk with them. Out the door they all went. The homeschoolers followed the bears on their walk. The humans held their own against the bears. They all walked around the forest with no problems. Soon they returned to the kitchen table to eat. While they ate, the baby bear said to Ella, "Why does your hair have sparkles stuck in it?" The mama bear tried to silence baby bear. Ella said, "God made me like this." A baby bear was so young that he had no idea that it was rude to ask people why they looked different. Ella, being a homeschooled older sister to 4 people, knew that kids were curious when they saw something unusual. Ella was not offended by baby bear's question. Mama and Papa Bear noticed Ella's unusual hair. However, they did not ask her any questions about it because they were afraid it would offend her. Ella thought, "I got to be careful how I talk about my hair. I cannot get taken advantage of again." After breakfast, the homeschoolers took Baby Bear outside to play with him. It was the first time Baby Bear had siblings to play with. As they played, Ella forgot about her parents' strict rules. She almost forgot about how she was different from her siblings. It is the mindset Ella has always wanted to have. The mama bear and papa bear looked out the window. They watched their kids play outside for a while. Then the mama bear said, "Well, I am glad they came along." Oh, the papa bear said, "I wish we could have had more children, but that is not how things worked out." Oh, the mama bear nodded. After a while, the children came in. The humans and the bears continued doing normal stuff throughout the day until it was time for bed. They all said their prayers and then went to sleep.